Last episode we went into the root center, and how honestly a lot of us are unrooted naturally, especially in the West, especially on stolen land. We're disconnected from the land, we're disconnected from other people, and we work with different types of root balancing to be more grounded, present in the body, have a sense of trust in life, and work on having steady energy. I want to emphasize this is the center of it all. If your root is uprooted or unrooted or disconnected, and there's no relationship with earth, your powerhouse of ancestors, or your natural rhythms, then all the higher, quote, higher practices, so any third, second, all the way up to seventh chakra work might not even penetrate deeply if the root is not, quote, balanced. And we'll get into what balance really means. So there could be an excess of energy, there could be a deficiency, and there can be a balance. If we know what the balance is, it can help us to assess where our excess or deficiency is. And sometimes a lot of these patterns and these words might sound repetitive, and that's because different aspects of life sit in each chakra. So for example, some might say, oh, the root is about finances. Meanwhile, every single chakra is about finances. It's just a different manifestation of it. So root, the finances, like I said last time, are rent money. It's your survival money. But as we get into the sacral chakra, it'll be the sweet little treats, the indulgences, the finances there. Also, this is a vast study of all different yogic traditions, so sometimes there's differences. For example, a lot of traditions will have the sacral chakra represented as water. Sometimes it's represented as fire. Same way in the earlier episode, we were talking about the root in reference to earth, and how that's sometimes used at the heart center instead. So we're traveling from the base of the spine, that's where the root center is. And I'm just kind of translating the language in a way. So after you gave yourself permission to be lazy at the root center, focusing on your stability, remember, sandalwood is the ultimate scent to tap in here. Maybe some heat to the lower back, some standing postures, gentle walking. That's all root center stuff. We're going to keep on moving on from what's inherited to what is known as the creative and the sexual center. That's the wrap that the sacral plexus gets. And we'll get into it. I just want to recommend deeply right now an herb that is beautiful to add into your teas during the winter time, and that's passion flower. It invites us to listen, trust, and rest. It's cooling. It's a cooling and settling plant. It quiets that excess mental activity. And that's why I recommend it as a sleep aid, but you can use it throughout the day to help to support gentle visions and meaningful dreams at night, but it's not going to put you to sleep. It's just often used as that sleepy time tea to help with emotional agitation, nervous spirit. It helps you to feel safe enough to rest, which is really important with what we were talking about with root center work. I'm drinking some right now. It eases fear and spiritual unrest. It's a gentle heart opener. So expect a bit of emotional release and integration. It is a teacher of surrender, this herb. Quieting that excess mental activity. supporting the astral travels, the dream worlds, the visions, meaningful dreams, symbolic messages, subconscious insights. And that's passion flower. Always, always, always drink your tea loose leaf. This is a mixture. I'll get into more teas as we unwind throughout the Yin Fairy podcast, but I just wanted to tap into that one for the root center as we collect and come upward. Reminding that drumming and rattling is really good for the root center. And today I've been working with a sacral bowl. Sit cozy. Imagine a warm orange light glowing at your lower abdomen, your lower belly. The light expanding with each breath. Hands below the navel. Expand the lower belly. Exhale slow, gliding the belly button to the spine. Singing bowls, drums, chimes. 417 hertz. These are beautiful recommendations working with the sacral region. If you want to tap into a summer aromatherapy, jasmine and orange. Also, infusing your life with more music and pleasure without guilt. That can mean a lot of things. That can mean sexual energies, dancing, giving yourself permission to play, tapping into your childhood wonder. It's a little crazy, I guess, in a few sentences to relate the two, but this region is all about permission to play, and this can be completely innocent. I think in the West, we're really wrapped up around the sacral region, harboring sexual activity, but it is so much more. What are your deep desires? What's your connection to pleasure, intimacy, creativity, creation, right? And think that blockages are not bad. So there could be energy blockages at the lower abdomen. These are really sensitive regions. Self-touch at the lower belly might help to connect. This is just information. Blockages are not bad, quote. Giving yourself permission to allow emotional openness, joyful connection to your own body through slow, conscious, non-sexual self-touch. Rubbing your arms with your hands, rubbing your palms together, rubbing your lower belly in circles. The sacral region has a connection to water, so warm baths, spa treatments that encourage water. I study traditional Chinese medicine, so I don't necessarily recommend cold plunges for women because of the contraindications with menstruation. So if you like doing cold plunges and they benefit your mental, go on. But here I'm going to recommend as much warm water access as you could possibly get. Swim in it, drink it, don't drink cold water, please. And if you have access to safe, drinkable spring water, swim in it, drink it. Waterfalls, water sounds, heightening your bathroom experience, better everything showers, baths, warm water. This is our second chakra, right below the navel, the center of emotions, creativity, pleasure. Think of it as a very fluid center. So can we move fluidly here? Do you walk with a really stiff sacrum, a stiff pelvis? Opening the hips, hip opening stretches, hip opening gentle walking. Flowing with the ups and downs of life. Life is a flow art, right? Fluid movements. Swaying the hips when we walk, swaying the hips when you do yoga, swaying the hips in downward facing dog. Allowing yourself feel to heal here. As we were talking about, our ancestors had to suppress their emotions at the root center for survival. The sacral region is about feeling. feeling your emotions and reclaiming the natural joy, your birthright. about safety. The sacral region is about emotional safety rather than foundational safety, as is in the root. Journal your desires. Journal what gives you pleasure, what makes you feel. Celebrate the small wins for yourself. So indulging maybe financially, okay, fine, I'll buy myself this nice thing, I deserve it, of course, not guilting yourself. This is really hard to do. Channeling creations, so maybe indulging in new hobbies, maybe picking up at things you were always good at. I always liked to sing as a child or dance, and you saw how the world kind of muffled the spirit of this creative channel, restoring the flow and the pleasure and the creativity, not forcing emotional release or emotional surrender, or if we are dealing with more adult energies, not forcing arousal. So being really discerning about your partners and who you allow into your energy fields. So when I think of the sacral region, I think about saying no, so having really strong boundaries. And when your sacral region is balanced, you will say no with, your whole chest. No, that's not for me. No, I want to do this. No, I'm going to do that. And there's no guilt. When the sacral region is unbalanced, we have people pleasers, overgivers, which leads to resentment. Once again, this is forcing emotional release